plant on the end. I thought that over here, Mex. I was going to do that over here and I changed my mind. I don't want to. I don't want to. I wish they added more plants. I think I'd be more happy to use them. I'm not a massive fan of the bluff briars, if I'm honest. It'd be nice if we had more variations. I'd like some nice sunflowers and stuff like that. Big tall bastards they'd be. Right, smooth and 2 stone and a normal one. Smooth, stone, 2 normals. Okay, we'll have to do a bit of sweeping up in a minute. We've made a whole lot of mess in the base, and it really does have a negative impact on the old decor, all this crap on the floor. Let's get rid of that. I agree. Also, they haven't had any variations on the stone sculpture, yeah. Funnily enough, I was looking in the game files the other night, and I may have found the part in the game where I can possibly change some of the art. But I don't know if I want to, just in case it bollocks something up. Like, I reckon they're going to add lots of posters and stuff. We already found this. I did put some pictures in Discord, by the way, guys. For those of you that haven't jumped on the Discord before, you may want to jump on the Discord, because anything that I find in the game, I share on the Oni chat section on Discord. I found a lot of pictures the other day, and some of which were posters, which kind of might be nice. And it would make sense now that we've got, like, drywall and stuff, that they would add posters as well. Can't be much of an issue to do a poster instead of a picture. Maybe they give less decor, but more happiness or something, I don't know. But I can imagine that being something they introduce. Okay, let's turn the old printing pod back on. We've not had any fresh meat for a while. Oh! Got a new inspection thing off the printing pod. Research notes, journals, pipe dream. We've read these before, I think. Oh, maybe it's this personal journal. Guys, it's story time. I started work at a new company called the Gravitas Facility today. I was nervous I wouldn't get the job at first because I was fresh out of school and I was so pushy. I was so pushy in the interview, but the director apparently liked my thesis on the physiological thermal regulation of Arctic lizards. I'll be working with some brilliant geneticists, bioengineering organisms for space travel in harsh environments. It's like a dream come true. I get to work on exciting new research in a place where no one knows me. No, it can't be. Banhi Ansari is here. Banhi Ansari is here, working on space shuttle thrusters in the robotics lab. As soon as she saw me, she called me Bubbles and told everyone about the time I accidentally inhaled a bunch of fungal spores during lab, blew a big snot bubble out my nose, and then sneezed all over Professor Avery. I can't believe that story followed me here. Banhi ruins everything. She does. Banhi's a son of a bitch. Everyone's calling me Bubbles instead of Doctor at work now. Some of them don't even know it's a nickname, but I don't want to correct them and seem rude or anything. Why couldn't that story have just stayed back at Atome U? Atome U. Ah. Interesting. Ah. Drekos. What about in Samoth? Bubbles' backstory, yeah. We've got more to find. Interesting. Somebody did mention, I can't remember who mentioned in chat, but apparently there is a bug where if you save and quit and come back in and re-inspect stuff, you can inspect it again. But I've not tried it myself. I don't really want to. We'll see what we can find normally first. Okay, who wants a sexy bed? Lisbeth. Otto. Turner. Beautiful. That's everybody done, I think. Who's missing? What? Comfy bed, comfy bed. What? It's still white. Why is it still white? Let's get rid of all this crap. And we'll get rid of this stuff as well. I can move this forward somewhere else. Nice. The lizard thing she studies. Oh, right, okay, the Arctic lizards. Right. You've discovered the joys of meteors crashing into the top of the map. Enjoy, Caramel. Enjoy. It sucks. Jeez. Are there any frame rate memory leak bugs? At the moment, Addy, definitely, mate. Unfortunately. We are cycle 451, and the game's starting to run like a bag of shit, unfortunately. It's just what happens. It's just the nature of the beast. I think it's more down to the fact the game still doesn't utilise many cores. So yeah. So I played the other day with surface damage cycle 27. It happens right from the beginning of your map. These meteors start from cycle 0. So it's right at the beginning, unfortunately. I don't know why. I don't know why they decided to do that. It wasn't like that when they first brought it in, because I had a play in debug. Like ran the game for 10 cycles, turned on debug, there wasn't any shit. So yeah. They're in trouble of losing a geyser in the area. Samoth, I've got a vent in space. This is a vent. Carbon dioxide vent. It's in space! So, yeah. Yours just went from running fine to 10 to 20 frames. Ooh, Adizor. That sucks. That sucks, buddy. The only thing I can recommend is make sure you've not got too many like surface liquids and stuff. Is that why your game's running like crap? Cycle 700 plus. Yep, that is exactly why, bud. Late game, it just runs like a dog. So you have to sort of make the most of it, and then try, as you get further into the game, to get as many things cut off from your base, cut off from dupe pathing. That way you can avoid a lot of the memory usage from dupes. So what I'll probably do at some point in the game, once we've got a lot of stuff sectioned off, I'll remove access to my dupes to like big parts of the map. So for example, like I don't want my dupes ultimately coming over here once we get power in. So I'll just cut off this, so their pathing doesn't need to be calculated. Same with like, you know, areas of the oil biome, I'll just cut it off. Big areas over here as well, you don't need it. Dupe pathing calculations, as in, if you click on navigation, this stuff, all these white lines, that is a lot of the calculation that needs to be done. So every time a dupe is assigned a new job, i.e. come and dig this tile all the way up here, that dupe needs to calculate its quickest route, okay? Now, the way that this can really cock things up is if you have lots of airlocks, you know, like 3 airlocks in a row and you're using automation to create vacuums and stuff, that can cause massive problems because their pathing gets changed constantly every time somebody goes through that airlock, which is why I kind of play big open bases, big open plan. Wait, how'd you look at that? You just click on a dupe and do show navigation. Click on a dupe, show navigation, shows them exactly everywhere they can reach on the map. So you can trace paths, so you can see where you can get to. So like this sort of stuff. It's also very handy for planning routes. So my exosuits, for example, my exosuits down here can only get to this level. I don't want them going up here, so you can see where I've cut off. That will really help you late game. If you can get into good practice with that, it'll really help you. Just sectioning places off. Also, not having too many different paths to the same place can make a massive difference as well. If you've only got one route from A to B, it's less calculations for the dupe, or for the game. If you've got 5 exits to your base that all can go to the same place, then your dupe needs to calculate shit which way is quickest. And that's one of the things that causes like the oxygen shuffle kind of behavior. If you've got multiple places to get to multiple routes to get to the same place, it really fucks things up. So that's a couple of tips I'll give you anyway. That's what I would recommend. And if you can get into good habits with that early, it just makes the late game a piece of piss. Or, not a piece of piss, but it makes your late game potentially last longer before you rage quit. Shit. Because there's nothing worse than lag, let's face it. It sucks. Fucking hell. I've worn another mouse out, guys. Like, I've actually worn it out. I've had it apart and cleaned it the other day. This is one I've only had a couple of months. I may also need a better mouse surface as well, in fairness. I might look into that. A nice mouse surface. Beautiful. The oxygen shuffle, yeah. The oxygen shuffle. I gave Claire a definition on their website, but it didn't get replied to. It didn't get any love from the devs on the forums. They may have saw I was taking the piss a little bit. Okay, Catalina, you are going to be our first exosuit engineer. Let's see how we handle the morale. Because we're going to go up to a plus 20. So we may need to start getting some better food. We'll see. You went all out to discover your buried objects. You have 2 volcanoes and a leaky ore vent that seem pretty worthless, are they? Volcanoes aren't worthless. Depends what your plans are for your base. But volcanoes can be very handy. They're a heat source and nothing else. Oxygen shuffle. Mr. Insane, it's when a dupe gets stuck in an endless loop. So let's say you had a dupe here, and they're trying to get to an oxygen packet here and here. They'll keep running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until they die. It's a bug that's been in the game since launch. It's been in for a long time. I call it the oxygen shuffle. So, it's an oldie. It's an oldie, but a biggie. It's a killer. Use Razor Naga and have 6 tools on the side buttons. Quite nice for changing from cancel to sweep mop, destruction, prioritize and dig. Oh, nice, Adizor. That would be pretty cool, actually. I've not had like a many thumb-buttoned mouse since I used to play Warcraft, to be honest. I've just not bothered. There's not many games where I find much application for them, but yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense, actually. That would be pretty sweet. I've currently got a G403, a Logitech G403, which I really like. I like the feel of the mouse, and I like that it's not got too many buttons. I'd probably buy another one in fairness. It's really comfortable. I've got quite big hands, like quite big pan hands, like big palms. So it's a really comfortable mouse for me. But I've worn it out. Oni kills mice, by the way. If you play a lot of Oni, you'll find that you kill stuff. Kill mice pretty quickly. Or maybe it's because I play this game so much. It was possibly that as well. Although, somebody on the forums makes me and Mex look like a noob. I think they were at 2,700 hours. I don't feel so bad about how much I play this game anymore. I thought I was one of the worst, but it turns out there are worse than me. I think they were 2,700. Mex might have actually beat that. I mean, I've not checked in with Mex for a while to see what he's up to. Hello, lady. How's it going? What are you doing? Filling your pipe? Oh dear, that's disgusting. Yeah, was it kitten? Yeah. Silly amount of hours. I'm alright. I'm just trundling by. We're doing a bit of tidying up at the minute. You know me, baby. It's all good. What are you watching? Can you watch channel because you're getting small? Nice. Bye! I'm at 838 and still a noob. Ah, Caramel, don't worry about it, mate. You'll find as well, the more you play, or at least for me anyway, I've forgotten more than I know now. I've forgotten more about this game than I know. So, yeah. Don't worry about it, mate. Who cares? Just play. I've probably enjoyed this playthrough more than many recently, because I've just took my time and done whatever I wanted. And honestly, I've really liked it. I mean, we've got quite a pretty base, like for dupes and stuff. The quality of life is pretty nice. Look at that. Boom! Can't really argue with that. Might put a little bit more decor in here as well. Make this real pretty. I don't normally go for these floating statues, but you know what? I like the idea of just having it real smexy. You know? I was against slapping decor everywhere. It's something I never normally used to do. But honestly, why the hell not? Oh dear. That's not good. That's not where I want you to be. Have we got any granite? No. Igneous? Igneous probably? There we go. Trying to get caught up in the details and being efficient at doing enough of our work. Yeah, that's the thing. I've got quite a lackadaisical approach to playing this game. As in... it's one of the things you guys always give me grief for, but I'm quite happy to let dupes endure a little bit. instead of spending 30 minutes of my life putting in exosuits. Like, I play this game like, I don't know, maybe not like most people. I'm quite happy to put them through the paces a little bit. And I'm not worried about doing things min-maxing, and no time for that shit. I've not got the patience. Like, I know how to min-max, I just don't bother. And that's probably the biggest difference. Disposable heroes, yeah, exactly. 700 cycles in, you just put in exosuits. We've not long had them, we did it today to be honest, so we were like 400 cycles or something. And we've only put in a few down here, we've not put loads in. It's only so I could go down and strip out the oil biome, to be honest. Which is looking pretty good at the moment, it has to be said. Let's do a bit more digging down here. But yeah. Don't get caught up in... I mean, I can give you... I can be a good spokesperson for this, because I do have people come to the stream, first time they've ever been here, and they'll be like, oh my god, you noob, why have you... What are you doing? And they don't realise that I've got thousands of hours played in this game, and I've probably built every build they've ever thought of multiple times, in different ways, and do you know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of grief playing this game. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Sometimes you get some really pushy people that come to stream and I'll just call them a prick and that's it. Very rarely, but sometimes. Or I'll point out that I do actually know what I'm talking about. But I normally don't really need to. I don't really care. I'll just go through the paces, you know? Like now, I've just trapped a dupe. But I'm fine with that. Because they'll work harder. They'll dig themselves out. They're a busy bunny. They've got an exosuit. It's going to be great. You've only had very lovely people. Oh, Mr. Insane. Oh, maybe May actually won't dig herself out of it. She's a little bit stuck. You'll get them, mate. You'll get them. You'll get that person that's come to the game and they've played for 300 cycles and they think they're a god. You'll get it. Yeah, I really don't think that will work. Yeah, exactly, Caramel, yeah. That's what I mean. I don't take it personally, mate. It's just... people often think they're God's gift or something. And, I mean, I do it from time to time. I think everybody can. I get very, like, cocky with this game at times. And sometimes it bites me in the arse. It bit us in the arse with the first playthrough on this update. Because I tried to play the game... You're staying there, Mr. Longhair. I don't want you. I tried to play this game in my old style and it didn't work. You know, like rushing out, strip mining the whole asteroid... It didn't work. I got wrecked with quality of life. And it made me reevaluate how I play the game, and I've enjoyed it more than ever, so it works. Oh, me, my show protector for that. Jesus. Honestly, I get hate playing this game just for a bit of scolding. And there's you with cadavers littering the place. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. Right, let's do something like this. Yeah, if we leave a few of these out, we can dig out the stuff that's underneath as well. Get rid of all this crap. I don't know if I can be asked digging this out. I'm doing this priority 9 because I'm going to just sit chilling here watching it, to be honest. Which will be fine. Get rid of all this crap. Also, your crazy experiments you call machinery? Yeah. How did that Aquatuna build work out, by the way? I had to go off the other night. I was tired. That vent gets destroyed by removing the neutronium. These don't spawn on neutronium. These are oil wells, so these just normal. You can do what you want with these. You can have them floating. You have to put a reservoir over it, you see, before it gets active, so it does a thing. Is it a boiler? It looked like it was going to be a boiler, not a cooler. Does it boil liquids? If so, that's not a bad thing. Just repurpose it to a steam maker. Not sure if it works yet, but it does stuff, that's for sure. Mr. Insane had 4 Aquatunas that weren't being cooled in his build. Just so you guys know what I was talking about. I tried to tell him I didn't want to backseat him too much, and I still don't want to backseat him too much, because I want him to learn the game. My favourite part of this game was when I knew nothing about it and was learning the game. And I would advise that for anybody. Don't watch too many how to do everything videos, you know? Play the game. Outputs near frozen dirty water. For how long? For how long before it boils? Because you had no cooling in there, which is a bit worrying. 5 kilos every 20 seconds. Yeah, but is that because that's how much power you've got to run it? My question is, how long does it run without boiling everything in the room? Okay. Because that's what I was curious about. I was curious about the heat. New dupe time! Oh, wait, hold on. The stress was creeping up a little bit. Why is May so stressy? 6 of 16. Mediocre decor. Need to keep our dupes in the base a bit more, I think. Right, let's have a look at a new dupe. We've not had a dupe in a long time. Pacifist mole hands that can operate, cook and research. Not bad. A loud sleeper. We don't want loud sleepers, really. And we don't want flatulence. So it's going to be Gossman. Let's get Gossman in. Bang. What do we want Gossman to start with? Let's start from the very top. It's obviously, we're going to have a bit of a nightmare with the old dupes now. But whatever. Build, dig, resupply. Be tidy. I should really set this to everybody. Yeah, that's fine. Mex, you know how it is, mate. You gotta leave him to it. Gotta leave him to it. Right, just tidying stuff out at the minute, guys. I'm having a bit of a moment, just chilling and digging some stuff out. We do really need to do a cooler for here. In fact, let's do some steel. I've been meaning to do steel production for ages, and it's something that I've not really done myself, so this is going to be a bit of a learning curve. I don't know where I want to do it. Maybe up here. Like outside the base. It's going to need quite a bit of room. Do you have slime production or just mine it all? You tend to use mushrooms for your food source. I'm just mining it. I've not done any puffed farms or anything. We'll probably move from mushrooms and a bit caramel. We'll start using more bread, you know, pepper bread, stuff like that. Maybe some berry sludge, I don't know yet. Right, let's just leave this running for a minute whilst I decide what I'm going to do. Your machine is a mechanical algae terrarium that uses coal instead of algae. No. No. Your machine wastes a lot of coal power for a very minimal output. Don't start naming things until they have a real purpose. Holy shit. I guess it's... No. Oh, Jesus. But what? Shit. You know, it's cold water which can become oxygen. Yeah. Yeah. It does that. And you pump all your CO2 into it. You pump all your CO2 into it. I mean, I don't quite remember if you changed anything from when I last looked. How are you pumping all your CO2 into it? I don't remember that part of the build. Oh, you've got an air scrubber in there. Well, all you've basically got is an air scrubber then. Yeah, but a sieve would do the same thing. That's what I'm saying, insane. A water sieve would take polluted water and turn it into 40-degree clean water. And that's instant oxygen and hydrogen. Do you see what I mean? Again, I don't want to coach you too much, buddy. I mean, build your own builds. That's what it's all about. And you might come up with something I've never fucking thought of and make me look an idiot, which is fine. I'm all for that. But it's like I told you the other day. There is an element to this game of like maths and converting how much energy you get. Like energy is the you know, the fixed amount. Neuro, how are you, buddy? Good evening, mate. How goes it? Where do I want to make steel, guys? I'm thinking the top of the base, but I've got no water left up here now because I've got rid of it all. I've got a little bit of water up here, but it's going to turn into steam very shortly. I mean, I bet this is hot up here now. It's so toasty! Jesus! Ah, Jesus. Life made me look like an idiot by trying to apply IRL science into this game. No, I didn't make you look like an idiot, hamster. You made yourself look like a bit of a jerk when you were like, I've got this great idea, but I'm not sharing it because it's my idea. And I was like, okay. Now, you could have told me what you were planning at the start, and I would have saved you a lot of time. But you were being all precious about your idea. I've got an idea I've come up with that nobody else knows about. You want to fail. Okay, buddy. Sounded like you were being a little bit precious to me. Like everything I come up with, I share. I just whack it on either the forums or on YouTube or something. So I don't care. It's more about like getting more people involved. And you might come up with an idea and it's got a flaw and somebody just sees through it straight away and fixes it. Like, that's happened to me loads of times. I come up with an idea that I'm really chuffed with, and then somebody's gone, "Why don't you just bridge that pipe there, idiot?" I'm like, oh yeah, that's much better. I like that. But, meh. That is the nature of this game. And it's the old, you know, 17 heads are better than one, you know? That old chestnut. Right, I'm sort of, the reason I'm sort of doing random digs at the minute, I want to clear all this crap out, but I'm also kind of deciding how I want to do steel production. I'm thinking I want to do it at the north of the base, because most of the steel is going to be going straight here. But I do need a big old body of water. I mean, I've got a shitload of polluted water down here. I might pump some of that out. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll use some of this. We'll use some of that. So, with that in mind, I want to clear out some of this up to a point. Where's going to be my cut-off point? Life, don't be a bully. I'm not being a bully. TWF, how are you, buddy? It is a long time no see. How's it going? And if I come up with an idea, I'd let you play with it if it works. Yeah, but Hamster, you could have come up with an idea. And I could have told you straight away, like, well, that won't work because of this reason. Because the laws that you're trying to apply do not apply to this game. And that's not making you a noob. That just saves you time. That's what I was getting at. You'd still get full credit the idea, mate. I'm not one of those that tries to steal fucking fame and glory. You know? It's not how I work. I'm the first to credit people for their hard, genius work. Right. About to cook breakfast for the wife and I, and my favourite show is on Things Are Simply Lovely. Oh, Neuro, you are too kind. Too kind, and possibly a little bit deluded. What's on the telly? What's the point? What's on the telly? What are you watching? Oh, Jesus. Thank you, buddy. Very, very nice of you. It's always nice to have you both here. And send the wife my love. In a non-wife stealing kind of way, if that makes sense. I sound like a very strange thing to say when I said it. Send the wife my love. You know, insert purring sounds. I can't purr. Christ. be eating meatball soup like Max in no time. Yeah, Max with his tomato soup full of sausage. Dirty. First game building an even more complicated and insane experiment at the moment. You'll love it. What is it insane? What are you trying to do? What is it? What is it for? What's its thing? What does it do? Does it have bells on it? Need to dig out this stuff really. I should dig this ATN out so I can decide what I'm doing with this as well. Unfortunately, this is too high. Let's open you. Boop. I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. Let's put in a let's put in this pipe now. Just a super low. What am I doing? Super low priority pipe. Do it like a 5 or something. Genuinely, I'm in no rush for this. Ooh, I don't want to run it down here though. We'll run it down here. Ooh. All the way down. Yeah, I don't think that cocks anything up. And then we'll do a little zig here when we should have zagged. And then this is a dirty pipe. But whatever. It's my pipe and I like it. Perfect. There can only be one max pairing per person. Been in trades for years. Real life is only inspiration for this game. It's maddening. Petroleum power, nice. It's 20% certain it'll work. Petroleum power. I see. Are you using some sort of special heat source to turn crude oil into petroleum? Oh dear. Right. So, the steel build, I'm thinking we'll do a couple of doohickeys up here. That's right. That's the term. Wow, this is warming up. We did take all the Weezeworts out of here, in fairness, so it was going to warm up eventually. Kind of sucks. There's not actually that much in here anymore. In fact, there's nothing in here apart from a bit of sleep wheat up here. Don't know why I didn't rip this out sooner. We'll rip this out. It's useless. We're going to extend this ladder up a bit further. I was leaving this ladder for now because reasons, but now those reasons are done. So I'm going to get this up here, something like that. I'm going to build some sort of gantry up here, I think. And whip. That can be you. I'm going to use the cute red floaty guys. Nice. Molten slicksters. I'll be able to apply real gas physics for this game someday. Yeah, I think pressure's the big thing you're wanting more than anything, isn't it? Applying energy through pressure. Or changing it, rather. I think you may have a very, very long wait, unfortunately. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I think you will. I think that's just the nature of the beast. Right, let's do all this now. I'm here and I'm looking at it, so let's get this done now. Let's just slap in a poor man's mechanized airlock, just for now. In fact, we'll slap it in down here. One of the current problems, however, CO2 doesn't heat that well. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It is an insulator. It's basically chlorine and CO2. Max, be nice, you jerk. Don't be a prick. If you want to be a gobshite, you lose the mod rights, mate. It's that simple. Don't do it. You want compressed air containment so bad. Baking canisters. Want to work with gas and adiabatic expansion so much. Could work way better than those coolers they're using now. Honestly, guys, you have no idea where the game's going to go. I mean, one of the pictures in Discord, if you have a look, it looks like some sort of processor maker. There's some really interesting things that are going to come to this game, I think. But it's just as and when they fit them in. Like, you know, it kind of needs to fit with Clay's vision of where the game is and where it's heading. And, you know, I mean, I'm the first one to say, what the fuck? Why is this being added now? I'm the first one bitching and moaning normally, but you kind of just have to play it as it is. It's an early access game, and when Clay think the kit is at the right time, they'll add it. But some of the stuff that are in the game files does look really interesting. Some sort of like circuit making system for like advanced stuff looks cool. And I'd like more roles as well. There is a medic's hat in the game files. A medic's hat would be cool, like having an appointed medic that, you know, can literally go and recover people that are downed at the scene, or gets them back to base quicker, or do you know what I mean? Can heal people faster and stuff like that. Nietzsche's, good evening, bud. How are you, mate? I'm a beautiful little girl. There's a mod out in beta right now that alters the mixing of gases and liquids. Looks interesting. Yeah, I don't want to touch any of the mods till it's in the game. Underwear, like till it's something supported by the game. I can't, like, if I get a broken save, I'm not risking playthroughs for that, mate. And also, like, when new players come, they don't understand what the hell's going on, so. Yeah, there's obviously going to be a massive modding community for this game. It just is. It's just going to be big. It's a little bit dirty, isn't it? Do a little sweep in here, get rid of some of this crap. And, maybe put a few air purifiers down. Air deodorizers. God damn it, I've mod your game already. I won't do it, mate. Sorry. I've had too many bad experiences of playing games where mods came out too early, and you end up with just corrupted saves all the time, and I don't want it. Not for streaming. Like, I have a bad enough time doing like Minecraft edit and stuff, you know, when something goes terribly wrong in Minecraft. Ticking entity or something that just trolls you. The last thing I want to be doing is messing about with Oni. I think it would ruin me.